Welcome to Sports Talk with DeAndre Branch. On today's show, I'm going to talk about all of the events that have transpired in the young NBA season thus far. Milwaukee Bucks small forward Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, is playing like a man possessed. In his first 4 games this season, he has scored 37 points, 34 points, 44 points, and 32 points. He's playing shutdown defense, and he's getting a number of blocks with the game on the line to stop momentum for other teams. In this young season, he's already hit a number of clutch buckets to help his team win games and stay in games this season. He's definitely accepting Kobe Bryant's challenge for him this season. That was for him to win MVP. This season was supposed to be another exciting season for the Celtics to possibly get to the NBA Finals and possibly win the East again after winning last season. With the additions of Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, you would have thought that they would definitely have that shot. But on opening night, less than 6 minutes into the game, Gordon Hayward suffered a very gruesome injury that was just as bad as Paul George and Sean Livingston. He fractured and dislocated his left tibia after colliding with LeBron James on an alley-oop attempt. And then his leg twisted underneath him as he hit the floor. I feel really bad for Gordon Hayward because he had his best season of his career last season, and that helped him earn that 4-year, $128 million contract from the Boston Celtics. More than likely, he's out for the season, so let's just hope there's a speedy recovery for Gordon Hayward. The Phoenix Suns are celebrating their 50th year of being an NBA franchise. They had a very tough start to the season, which brought a bunch of turmoil onto their team and the coaching. On opening night, they got destroyed by the Trailblazers without CJ McCollum. And then the next night, they turned around and lost to the Lakers with the help of Lonzo Ball, who had a bad performance against the Clippers. He had a near triple-double against the Suns. Their next game, they got destroyed by the Clippers. And later after that game, star point guard Eric Bledsoe tweeted that he didn't want to be there anymore. I'm hoping he didn't mean in life. I'm hoping he meant he didn't want to play for the Suns anymore. But honestly, nobody knows. So the Suns sent him home. And later after that, they fired Coach Earl Watson and 3 assistant coaches. More than likely, Eric Bledsoe will be traded before this season ends. And the New York Knicks are in talks of trying to get. Thunder came into this season expecting to contend in the West because of the new additions of Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. The team has been very exciting, but I don't think they will be a good team in the long run, especially not in the playoffs. They still haven't shown signs that they're going to run plays, which has always been a problem for the Thunder. It's always been iso ball, iso ball, iso ball. I just don't think Billy Donovan is the right coach for that team. Like, you can win games and get to the playoffs not running plays. But in the playoffs, when it gets to crunch time, you have to run plays. Honestly, in my opinion, if they start running plays, they can be the best team in the league. Even without having a really strong bench, I think they still could be the best team in the league if they was to run plays. But like I said, if you don't run plays, your team is going to be very unstructured when it's crunch time, which means good shots aren't going to get put up. The Timberwolves and the Thunder played one of the most exciting games of this young season, where it was 3 go-ahead shots made in 10 seconds, the last 10 seconds of the game. Timberwolves big man Karl Anthony Towns made a teardropper to put the Timberwolves up. And then the Thunder came back and Melo hit a three-pointer. Melo three-pointer gave the Thunder a 113-112 lead. The Timberwolves came back and Andrew Wiggins made a 3 at the buzzer that banked in to beat the Thunder 115-113. The next day, the NBA announced that 2 errors was made by refs in that game. One of the errors was right after Karl Anthony Towns had made the teardropper. Coach Tom Thibodeau had called for a timeout that the team did not have, but the refs didn't see it, so that helped in their favor. And then on Andrew Wiggins' 3 that he made to end the game, Karl Anthony Towns had a legal screen that knocked Paul George down that wasn't called. So it was bittersweet for the Timberwolves. They won the game, but technically they shouldn't have won the game. The Nets came into this season thinking they would have a good backcourt tandem with D'Angelo Russell and Jeremy Lin. That came to an end when Jeremy Lin went up for a contested layup in their opening game, and he landed awkwardly on his leg. As he hit the floor, he said, "I'm done." And he started crying, looking at the bench. So right then they knew it was a very serious injury, and the trainers came out to console him. The diagnosis was a ruptured patella tendon, and he's been ruled out for the rest of the season. I feel bad for Jeremy Lin because he's missed the last parts of the last 2 seasons with significant injuries. And he came back this season thinking he would be strong, but turned out he got another injury. So hopefully we haven't seen the last of Jeremy Lin. Hopefully he can get a speedy recovery, come back strong next season. The Chicago Bulls are coming to this season as one of the youngest teams in the league. They're rebuilding, and they started the season off wrong already. Before their first game, they lost one of their better players, Nikola Mirotic, because in practice, him and Bobby Portis got into a confrontation, and Bobby Portis punched him in the face, and he has a few facial bones that are broken, so he's going to miss some time. And Bobby Portis was suspended by the Bulls for 8 games. The Cavaliers got a lot of new additions this season to try to come back from last season's loss in the finals to the Warriors. One of the key additions on their team this season is Dwayne Wade. And by getting Dwayne Wade, the Cavaliers put J.R. Smith, who had been starting the last 3 seasons, on the bench, which I thought was a good fit for him because in his career, he's always been a better player off the bench versus starting. J.R. Smith reportedly told the press that he was unhappy about that decision. He felt like he should have been starting over Wade, who's on the downhill of his career. Despite the Cavaliers' 2-1 start to this season, they have struggled in stretches. And that has led Dwayne Wade to talking to Tyronn Lue, and he announced that they have made a change at shooting guard. J.R. Smith will start at shooting guard, and Dwayne Wade will come off the bench. Dwayne Wade has only played about 11 games coming off the bench, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes for the Cavaliers. It may just be a short-time thing, or it could be a long-term thing. The Philadelphia 76ers coming to this season showing a lot of promise. I expect them to get between the 4th and 6th seed in the East. I even expect them to win at least one playoff series. With the combo of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, they're talented enough to beat every team that's in the league. So don't be surprised if you see them go deep in the playoffs this season. Just remember, I was the one that told you that. With last night's 21-point, 12-rebound, 10-assist performance against the Pistons, Ben Simmons became the first player since Hambone Williams to record a triple-double within his 4 career NBA games. Ben Simmons reminds me a lot of LeBron. He's just a little bit more flashy, throwing passes, and a little bit more handles. This season is already showing signs of being a great year, so I expect it to keep progressing like that. This concludes my show for today. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all haven't already. Make sure to like, unlike, comment what you think about my video. Make sure to follow me on social media. I follow back. Be out.